think we've got a chance to be pretty good.
On the campus of the University of Arizona, PAC12 beach volleyball championships have been going all day long. If you're just tuning in, where have you been? This is a great match coming up. Arizona State versus USC, the 4 seed versus the 1 seed. USC, the defending national champion, the defending PAC12 champion. These teams, the second semifinal in the winners bracket. Winner moves on to play tomorrow. The team that loses will play again later tonight in the contenders bracket. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Anne-Marie Anderson alongside 3-time Olympian Holly McPeak. Holly, let's just dig in. We talked about Claes and Hughes, the one pair for USC. They have 1 loss in the last 2 years. It's in the wind. I can tell by your hair, it's very windy here today.
It's kind of been off and on, off and on. Right now it's kind of still, so I feel like it's mellowed out, but USC very experienced in the wind. They've played a lot of matches on the beach. You know, Arizona State, when we talked to Brad Keenan, he said, we don't have any wind here, so every time we get in the wind, it's a big challenge for us. Yeah,
that'll be interesting today. 5 courts of action all happening at the same time. We'll keep you updated as we go through, but we're going to start with the one pairs, Hughes and Claes, the best pair in collegiate beach volleyball. And Holly, I have heard you say before, you think they're the second best pair in the country.
I think they're going to be representing the USA in Tokyo 2020.
Yeah, when she says second best in the country, she's talking behind Carrie Walsh and April Ross. I mean, just an incredibly dominant pair. But they are human. First set goes to Claes. And they are playing Bianca Ariano and Whitney Follett, who have been incredible. If there is a surprise in this Pac-12 tournament, it is these two, Ariano and Follett, just dominating their way through the last couple of weeks of Pac-12 play.
I'm not actually surprised by them. They had success last year. They had some good wins against the Witt twins for Arizona early this season. They have a nice presence. Bianca Ariano, good all-around defender. Whitney Follett, huge presence at the net for Arizona State. And they put a lot of pressure on their opponents. Both grad students stayed here an extra year to play together and have this kind of a season.
They took it down Stanford's one pair earlier today. Meanwhile, for Claes and Hughes, 128 wins as a pair so far. Most wins by any USC pair, any pair in the country by far.
It's interesting. Most players going after Kelly Claes, the bigger of the two hitters. That's all we've seen. Very few serves at Hughes.
It's a tough choice, isn't it? I mean, Hughes is so fundamentally sound. Off of the block it goes. 5 courts of action all happening at the same time.
Double elimination. This is actually a winner's bracket match. 5 matches of pairs. Best 3 of 5 wins the match. So first team to 3 points. All 5 matches are playing at the same time to conclusion. First 2 sets to 21, you must win by 2. Last set, if necessary, to 15, again win by 2.
The loser of this duel will face Washington in the final match of the night tonight. The winner will move on. Ariano, the setter for this team, that receives most of the balls. She was really incredible coming in. They worked Catherine Plummer and Jenna Gray, Stanford's one pair, earlier today masterfully.
Yeah, they've been playing together, you know, in a year or two, and they have good experience together, and they put a lot of pressure on opponents with their defense.
USC, meanwhile, just dominant. Won 61 consecutive duels, a 31-0 overall record this year. Claes and Hughes have won 109 of their 110 last matches. Of course, they are tuning up for the NCAA championships next week. UCLA will be in Mobile, Alabama.
This USC team has some special seniors on their roster, have done amazing things for the USC volleyball program. I feel like every time they step on the court, they know they're winding down and it's something special. There's a target on their back, but they also have a lot to prove. They want to prove that they are the best team in the country.
This is a team that is looking forward, Claes and Hughes specifically. They have this, then they have a pairs championship at this tournament that follows the team championship, which we're televising today and tomorrow. The pairs championship will not be on TV. Next week, the NCAA championships. The week after that, the collegiate beach championships just a strictly pairs competition, and then they're graduated. They are out into the real world, and there are a lot of pros who have their eyes on them.
Certainly do. They have a bright future no matter what they decide to do, but I feel like their future is representing the U.S. in the Olympics for beach volleyball.
They both have said that that is a goal for them. Sarah Hughes, third child in her family. Her mom telling us, you know how it goes with a third child. You drag them to all the older kids' events, and they just want to pepper all the time. That ball control at a very young age is established early.
First serve in the area of Sarah Hughes. It was kind of win at Sarah Hughes and then dipped right towards the middle, and Sarah Hughes couldn't get her platform on that ball. Beautiful serve by Whitney Follett, attacking that middle.
It's been interesting to watch Whitney Follett as that one goes off the net. Claes hammers it. Follett, you remember a couple of years ago, was very ill during the indoor season and missed a good chunk of time, was very weak when she came back. Since then, it feels like her trajectory has been straight up on an incline.
I think she's worked hard to get healthy, get strong, and her game has really improved. I think the chemistry between she and Bianca Ariano is fantastic. They seem like very good friends, and they work very well together.
Claes goes ace off of Ariano.
Bomb of a jump serve. Fast cross court. Catches Bianca Ariano on her heels.
Ariano and Follett announced themselves with a win over the Wits to start the season. And as you said, have proven that they are just a seasoned pair now.
Good hard approach by Bianca Ariano. She's undersized, but she gets up, delivers a cut shot, and Sarah Hughes can't touch it.
The wall of Canada, Follett, right there, challenging Claes. Hughes just uses her off the hand.
Hughes, yeah, covers the ball, gets an opportunity to put the ball away high off the block. A lot of teams choosing to go after Kelly Claes, who's more of a hitter. Sarah Hughes hits and moves the ball around, but really likes to go to the open court. And sometimes that's harder to defend than somebody who wants to hammer the ball.
Again, making Claes handle the first ball. Just turning it the other way, trying to get the line, but it's wide.
Kelly Claes made a couple errors early, feeling the pressure from the Arizona State defense.
Wind is gusting a little bit again. Beautiful hands by Kelly Claes.
It's interesting, if you score a point off somebody, you should stay on them. Keep the pressure on them. Don't go to the other player, especially Sarah Hughes.
Vukovic and Wheeler, Okaro and Barrage, we'll see them later, but they are battling it out on court two. Cannon, Martin leading Lundberg and Carballo by 2, so it's going to be close all the way along, it looks like. But meanwhile, Holly, I like the point that you're making. If you just want to point off somebody, you're staying on them.
Yeah, and it's like you ace somebody, you don't go away from them. You keep the pressure on them. Don't let them off the hook.
This team, of course, trying to get back to an NCAA championship yet again. Last year, the first weekend of May, they were in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and they dominated.
They certainly did. They had a lot of talented athletes on their side of the net, but Kelly Claes and Sarah Hughes led that team to the first NCAA title.
A win over Florida State for USC, the first NCAA beach volleyball championship. They celebrate the way beach volleyball players do in the water. Next week, back in Mobile, Alabama, they're going to want to try to do it again. SC also
in Gulf Shores, Alabama.
Yeah, exactly. What did I say? They're going to want AVCA title for USC in 2015. So really, they're the two-time defending national champion.
Correct. But last year was the first NCAA tournament. This will be year 2, and they want to repeat. They want to go out on top.
Pepperdine and Long Beach State, who you see both teams have also won NCAA championships, also in great position to get the at-large bids into that tournament field.
Kelly Clay's doing a good job reading the defense. Arizona State putting an angle block, dropping angle, and Kelly Clay's is seeing what the defense is doing and hitting to the open court. I like that.
Important that Claes and Hughes get challenged, and certainly Ariano and Follett are doing that. Last week, Long Beach State, Barber and Nieto also gave them a really nice challenge.
You want to be challenged, you want to be pushed, because then you have to up your game, and then you see the high shot by Sarah Hughes down the line.
Olympic silver medalists from the Rio Olympics, April Ross and Carrie Walsh-Jennings, also talking about the incredible challenges that Claes and Hughes present for them and how that just makes the whole field better. They're looking forward to those two entering the pro ranks.
Well, I think there's going to be a flood of very talented young players hitting the pro ranks and really bringing the level up.
Well, Claes and Hughes changed the beach volleyball game, didn't they, Holly? When they decided to forego the indoor game, they were kind of the first ones that we took notice of to choose beach only.
Yes, and it's been a huge trend. I see a lot of young players deciding, hey, beach volleyball is my passion. I'm not going to play indoors anymore, and I'm going to focus on getting a scholarship or getting into college to play beach volleyball in college. And I'm seeing that all the time, but they really were the first top-level athletes to do that.
And what's really remarkable about this matchup, that is not the case for Whitney Follett and Bianca Ariano. They were strictly indoor players, Arizona State later to the beach game, and they have made the conversion beautifully and very impressively.
And I think they love it.
Yeah.
I mean, to stay in grad school so they could play another year and have this opportunity, they're having a good ride.
Great cover. Ariano covering her own hit and then putting it back short. Satisfying point for Sun Devils.
Bianca Ariano's best shot. She has a waterfall drop roll shot that she's been using all day long, and I haven't seen one person touch it all day long.
Well, so how frustrating is that then if you're a coach? You know it's coming.
Yeah, well, you have to get a scouting report and figure it out, but she executes it really well, and it gets to the sand quickly.
Clay's hand so smooth.
And Sarah Hughes, again, finding the opening down the middle. Sarah Hughes, such an explosive athlete. Look at the elevation and then the attack and the arm swing right down the middle.
Yeah, Green, you're fine. Lower it. Go on, cut it. Yes.
Ariano, unafraid of the big block of Kelly Claes.
You got to challenge it. That time swinging right through the middle. Kelly Claes was a little late on her push and went right through the middle. 3 points for Ariano.
Up to the net of the set from Sarah Hughes. Leads cut to 1.
But Kelly Clay's reading the defense better. She's being patient, not trying to hammer the ball past the big block, just taking what Arizona State's giving her.
Blocker pulling off. Ariano 2 consecutive kills.
Kelly Claes has really worked on her drop and getting her hands up. If she can get her feet stopped and grab that ball with her hands, she'll be at the next level. Vukovic Wheeler leading on court 2.
Hughes up, rips it cross court.
Sarah Hughes loves getting involved in the offense, especially when she's not getting served. It's fun to get those opportunities at the net.
Conversion rate for Sarah Hughes is very successful.
Yeah, mine did she anyway.
Jump serve, Navarova hits the top of the net. And here it gets interesting, Holly. Just a couple of points away from a set 1 win for Ariano, and Follett puts them in a great position.
Ariano, Follett are playing extremely well. If they can score a real point, that puts them in a good position to win this first set. And Bianca Ariano gets a little tweak in the pass. Arizona State scores that 19th point and then moves to the good side with the wind in their face, where it's much easier to side out and much easier to serve the ball aggressively.
So the wind has gusted again. It's gusting a little bit. We talked about that the one time that Claes and Hughes did struggle and lose in the last 110 matches one time. Was in a very windy conditions. Is there anything that you can see that they need to do right now?
Not really. I felt like it was some errors early, too many missed serves, and Ariano and Follett are a good team. They're going to earn some points. So that combination has Arizona State in the lead.
Hughes serves Ariano. Blockers off, as you'd expect, and so it's that little waterfall. Claes able to adjust, and what a beautiful shot from Kelly Claes.
Good job by Kelly Claes. Dropped off the net and then was fast enough to get that little short drop shot that nobody's been touching all day, and then converts it for a point.
Ariano again. Follett takes great care with her sets.
That ball hit just long. Bianca Ariano trying to get that deep middle ball. But good teams really step it up when the match is tied, and Sarah Hughes and Kelly Claes are no different from USC.
Arizona State's head coach, Brad Keenan, says this is when the tenacity comes out, though. He said specifically to us, 19-19, watch Ariano and Follett.
Pair 4, USC getting the first set victory.
Set point on court number 1. Claes up, crushing to the back line. Extra points for set number 1.
Yes, when we talked to Brad Keenan for Arizona State, he said Bianca Ariano and Whitney Follett, they play really well at the end of a set. I'd love to see them play that type of high-level volleyball the entire match.
Court 2, the USC pair also won. Bukovic and Wheeler. Bukovic just pounding away at it. 10 kills for Sophie Bukovic. Meanwhile, on court number 1, Claes and Hughes set point after Ariano and Follett led most of the way. Claes not going to be fooled on that. Little ball back, and that will take the first set. Claes and Hughes showing tenacity.
And they fought back when it was tight at the end of that first set. They were down, but stepped up big.
First set wins on court 1, court 2, and court 4, all in USC's favor.
You mentioned Sophie Bukovic, one of the other seniors. She was on fire in that first set.
USC having fun as a program. Set 2 getting underway.
You're watching PAC12
Network.
PAC12 Beach Volleyball is brought to you by State Farm. Get to a better state. Incredible action on the courts at Bear Down Beach. Arizona State and USC battling it out. You just watched Claes and Hughes battle back following in set number 1. Come back with a set 1 win. 5 courts of action happening. Let's check in on the 2 pairs. Allie Wheeler and Sophie Bukovic dominating in the first set, with Bukovic receiving most of the serves. 10 kills for Sophie Bukovic in the first set.
That's a good stat for the first set. That is domination and answering the call. If they're going to serve her, she's going to terminate.
Well, they did make the change for set number 2 and have been spending their time looking at Allie Wheeler, and she's also putting it away.
Allie Wheeler's made a big adjustment, both she and Sophie Bukovic. But Allie Wheeler, this is the first time she's played defense. For the last 3 years, she's playing with Nicolette Martin, and now she's playing on the right side. That's a big adjustment to switch sides of the court.
Meanwhile, O'Caro and Barrage of Arizona State fighting back, but these are the seniors that are graduating from USC's NCAA championship team.
And look at the record there. Unbelievable. 669 victories, only 86 losses. They have been amazing and really set the standard high here at USC.
Their senior day, fittingly, was against UCLA last weekend. That's where that picture came from. I mean, to have that kind of success, and all Anna Collier is doing is reloading, because she has talent. And we have seen it this year with the injuries to USC, and she just plugs someone else in, and they keep winning.
And because of the injury, she was able to plug other players in and still win. There you see Coach Anna Collier. What a program, what an environment she's created at USC. It's, dedication, domination, and these people are determined to win another championship, and that's under Anna Collier's leadership.
It certainly is. She is building a dynasty here. This team 31-0 this year. They keep running on. There are about 60 duels consecutively won. It kind of looks like a little bit like UConn's a dynasty, Penn State indoor volleyball. I mean, USC, you have to play hard to knock them off.
You certainly do.
Meanwhile, these two, Allie Wheeler and Sophie Bukovic for USC, have been so incredible, in part because of the staff that Anna Collier has put in place.
Olympic gold medalist, motivational speaker, volunteer assistant, Dane Blanton for USC has been so instrumental. Really good, positive influence. He motivates the players. He pushes them. He's been in the trenches. They know. They respect what he tells them on the sideline, and it's been really good for the Trojan team to hear what he has to say.
Looking at Sophie Bukovic moving on that ball. That whole play, Bukovic, brilliant.
And Sophie Bukovic is one of the USC players who is out with an injury. She had a sore back, missed 2 weeks. But she looks better than she's looked all season long. Very explosive, laying out on defense and then terminating for the point.
Bukovic had great success with Alexa Strange last year. Allie Wheeler and Nicolette Martin were pairs and best friends for years. USC is so deep that Anna Collier could break them up to have more depth across the way.
And really push the players. Like I said, Allie Wheeler in a new role. She's split blocking. She's playing defense. She's shifted to the right. But the players just adjust and make things happen and continue the USC tradition.
Meanwhile, playing against Aluma Akaro and Madison Berridge, Akaro, they call her Ollie. They've only had her 1 day a week, Brad Keenan has, because of spring season for indoor. She started off this match in set number 1 just pounding the ball.
Oluwamo Akaro, or Ollie, is one of the most athletic players I've seen, indoor or out. She can dominate, and they've had a lot of success at too. She and Madison Berridge begged Brad Keenan to play together. They have great chemistry. They love each other. And because Madison Berridge is a good ball control player, that really complements Ollie's athleticism at the net.
Well, they begged Brad Keenan to play together, and Brad Keenan has begged Aluma Akaro to option once in a while.
Good point, but she's really uncomfortable in that role for some reason. But that's an area where he'd really like to see her use her athleticism to dominate the match.
Yeah, and explain what an option is for people who don't know the game.
Most teams are going to go after the smaller Madison Berridge from Arizona State. She's 5'7", 5'8", and she doesn't hit the ball as well as Ollie Akaro, who jumps 40 inches and hammers the ball. So when Madison passes the ball up to the net, Ollie gets her feet to the ball and terminates on 2. So she's attacking the second contact instead of the third.
Trying to find the end line there. There's Brad Keenan, the head coach of Arizona State, his first season as the head coach of this program.
It's interesting. First-year head coach. He says he's having the time of his life. He's really enjoying these girls and making them better, and he's passionate about what he's doing. This is a new role for him.
One of Brad Keenan's techniques, he told me, is he keeps a little pink ball, a bright colored ball in his pocket during practices. And then as he's coaching, he said, I don't want to run all the way down there. If I see somebody do something wrong, I throw the ball. It hits the court. When you see the bright court, you can come to me, and I'll tell you what was going on. That way he can see all the courts, and he doesn't have to take those indoor knees running all the way down.
Interesting. I didn't know that story.
Yeah, that he looks over. He says, this is the way people are able to look for me. Once they see the bright ball in their court, look for Brad.
That last play, Sophie Bukovic has been hand setting, faced the hand set, went over on 2 because she saw the open court in front of her. I also like the drill that Brad Keenan told us about. It's called awkward hitting, because beach volleyball, not everything's perfect. The set blows. You have to move all over the court, so you're not always in perfect position. So he puts you in awkward situations, and you have to get your feet behind the ball with your arm up and hit the ball in the court. And he said that's made his hitters, even mostly the big hitters, really find their range and get their feet behind the ball.
Bukovic and Wheeler, part of the strength of this USC program that really prides themselves on competing in every aspect of the game.
Beast of the week, the strength coach at USC, Kelly Dormandy, really proud of the work that this USC beach volleyball program is doing in the gym, and she awards the Beast of the Week. They get to wear that special tank top if they win it, if they're working the hardest in the gym. And you see all the players have worked really hard. I don't think everybody's won it, but you see Allie Wheeler, you see Sarah Hughes, and Joy Dennis have been Beasts of the Week.
Well, and the other thing that USC works really hard at is academically. Anna Collier also very proud of that. Of the 21 varsity sports at USC, beach volleyball has the highest GPA of any varsity sport at USC, a 3.1 average.
Excellence is a habit. You are what you repeatedly do. Do you remember who said that?
No, I don't. You, just now. Who? Aristotle?
Yeah.
You're so deep.
Thank you.
So deep. Taking a look at the fours, Bustamante and Kernigan with a win in set one and leading set two. And then in the fives, Belton and Kremer trailing Braun and Cross just by one. Barrage, no one on. Goes for the angles, as the smaller player does. Uh-oh, Bukovic and Wheeler laughing hard.
I think when Allie Wheeler dove for that ball, she kicked up a bunch of sand in partner Sophie Bukovic's eyes, and they're just cracking up because they can't see a thing. But, oh, you see the, I don't know where the sand came from. It must have come off her arm.
She also dug with her mouth open.
Yeah, that's never good.
That's never a good sign. Bukovic's hands so smooth. O'Caro embracing the setting part of the game, which for O'Caro, clearly she never does indoor.
No, the only thing I'd like to see Ali O'Caro do better on the set is face where she wants to set. She's kind of doing it with her arms. If she got her hips around and face where she wanted to set, that set would be really accurate.
No one on. What a nice turn by Wheeler.
Beautiful out-of-system swing by Allie Wheeler, using her size and physicality to put that ball away with no one at the net.
Sophie Bukovic, the Trojans' first Canadian player, was a full ride at Long Beach and walked away. An indoor player, wanted to play beach, wanted to play for the best program in the country.
Allie Wheeler and Sophie Bukovic have something in common. Allie Wheeler's sister, Nicole, played soccer at Cal Poly, and Sophie Bukovic's twin sister is a pro soccer player in Sweden.
A lot of twins in discussion today. Bukovic, the pass, no one on.
Beautiful swing in transition by Sophie Bukovic on the right side, hitting that deep middle ball. It's always successful.
Four-point lead for Bukovic and Wheeler. They're looking to take set two and put the first point of the duel on the board for the Trojans. Wheeler gets outside fast. O'Caro there.
Touch. There we go.
And it's a USC ball off of O'Caro's hands.
Ali O'Caro went up and got that ball, trying to hit it deep before the USC block got there, but hitting it wide.
Bukovic first ball. Wheeler can't get over or around her. Not worth it the week before the NCAA championship.
Sophie Bukovic laid it out, just couldn't control it for her partner, Allie Wheeler.
4-point lead for Bukovic and Wheeler. Second set action going across all 5 courts. And USC trying to capture a win in this duel so they can rest till tomorrow, force Arizona State to play again later today. Work their way through the contender bracket, but another nice kill from Wheeler, just so controlled.
This is a team that's gotten better as the season has gone on. They split for a little because of the injury and other players filled in, but really playing well at the end of the season. That's really important. You want to peak at the right time.
Wow, big swing for Sophie Bukovic cross court.
This is the best I've seen Sophie Bukovic play. The only thing that's missing from her game was that bomb of a jump serve that she was running at the beginning of the season. She was just hammering it from the back line.
Yeah, and Anna Collier has grounded her on purpose for that, said she's going to bring it back for the NCAAs. Meanwhile, let's pop into pair 4. Maybe one of the most impressive stories in this tournament is that Kernigan is filling in for Joy Dennis. Kernigan, it's her 8th partner this season for UCLA.
Katrina Kernigan has been working so hard to get in the lineup. She only has 4, I believe she's 22-4 on the season, and 2 of those losses were to other USC pairs. So wherever they plug her in with whatever partner, she's been successful. And she's a little bit undersized. She sets amazing. She's got a great serve and good feel for the game. And she's just getting it done, filling in for the big physical player in Joy Dennis.
Yeah, and in addition to Dennis, she's filled in for Belton. We saw that last week. Dorn, Dunn, Kremer, Thomas, Wheeler, and Bustamante this year.
MVP.
Yeah, and Dane Blanton, we talked about him. The assistant coach said she doesn't care. She loves it. She loves playing with whoever her opportunity is. And with that, Bustamante and Kernigan put the first point of the duel on the board for USC.
And Katrina Kernigan and April Bustamante have grown up together. They played at Elite Beach Volleyball Club in high school. They have spent a lot of time together, so they plug in and play very well at a high level together.
So with the first point of the duel on the board, let's pop over to other action going back again. Dane Blanton going to come and join us in the booth and talk to us after this match. Meanwhile, back to the action on court 2 as it just finished with Wheeler and Bukovic, on the side switch as they are pushing to a second set victory. 1 point away, match point for Bukovic and Wheeler. Akaro serve right down the middle. That never feels good.
Good pop on her float. Ali Akaro pops it deep middle. Arizona State's going to try and fight back and scratch for a third set.
Bukovic, Doug, pulling off the tape. Wheeler, again, Doug, Barrage.
Net violation by Okaro at the net, and USC gets another point on the board.
SC's 4s and 2s put the first 2 points up. Now going over to court 3 where the action just wrapped up there as well. Therese Cannon and Nicolette Martin with the win. And so USC wins the duel, but the action will continue. 3 matches have finished already for USC.
Trojans taking care of business on those first 3 courts. Actually, I believe it was 2, 3, and 4.
That's right, 2, 3, and 4. First 3 to finish. And so we return Claes and Hughes about to put it away as well. Second set, much more wide open. Ariano, no one on. And up by Claes. Wall of Canada, Whitney Follett.
Whitney Follett has great blocking feel. She knows when to just grab that ball over the net, and that's what blockers need to do. That's the first thing, get over the net and grab it.
Hughes, deep line, and with that, Claes and Hughes win again. Let's check in court number 5.
Let's go.
Kremer and Belton. Belton last week injured for a bit in a match, back bothering her. They're about to put it away against Braun and Cross.
Joe Kremer so steady, finishes it off. She sees the defense, puts it where they're not.
So it is a sweep again by USC as they continue to be the most dominant program in collegiate beach volleyball.
And it sets up an interesting matchup tomorrow.
Arizona State, meanwhile, will play again later today. Holly, what do they need to do to take into their contenders bracket match?
I felt like they did some good things, but USC just responds. They answer when you put the pressure on them. So just continue to push and be aggressive to score points.
Arizona State will play Washington later today, but up next, Stanford and Arizona will face off. The UCLA and USC, the top 2 seeds in this tournament, move on. Don't go anywhere. More action coming up on Pac-12 Network as Stanford and Arizona. Coming up next, contenders bracket, survive and advance.
You need tires. You don't need a hassle. Trust